As everyone now knows, natural gas was discovered under the North Sea in 1965. For us in Britain, this has meant that, together with the oil now being discovered further north, we have, after years of massive effort and investment, a very important additional source of energy on our own doorstep. This is the story of how it happened, seen through the eyes of one group of oil companies, Esso and Shell, who risked tens of millions of pounds, years of exhausting, demanding work, and an undefeatable expertise to achieve it. It started more than 10 years ago as a gamble based on an educated hunch. In 1959, natural gas was found in Holland in immense quantities. This discovery, linked with minor finds in Britain, hung the question mark over the North Sea, one of the most unfriendly, unpredictable and dangerous stretches of water in the world. Explorers were soon out there making preliminary seismic surveys. Sound waves created by explosions echo off rock strata under the seabed. Rocks, their position, their age and characteristics are signposts to oil or gas. This was the method then, in the early 60s. It has since been superseded by this pulsing device invented by Esso Research and made available to the oil industry throughout the world. This one doesn't explode, as we saw before. It just pops. There's no dynamite. There's no risk to fish. It just sends a small shock wave through the ocean floor and builds up a better, more detailed picture of what's underneath. Below deck, a mass of electronic apparatus translates the echoes into long strips, seismograms. In 1964, 22 nations ratified an international agreement on the allocation of areas for exploration in the North Sea. The British government offered a number of blocks of 100 square miles each, under license to oil companies and other interested concerns. Soon the drilling rigs were on the move, towed thousands of miles from far corners of the globe. Ponderous monsters, none of them yet designed for the wild weather of the North Sea. Meanwhile, in London back rooms, the seismic recordings are minutely studied. Computers take over, sifting every scrap of information for evidence of anticlines, synclines, folds of rock, domes of salt, the real clues to the presence of oil or gas. The shapes of the subsurface formation are plotted on maps. The odds are narrowing. The gamble is on. A floating buoy somewhere in the North Sea marks the spot for the first well. Foot by foot, the tugs jockey the drilling rig into position. Now the rig must stand square on the seabed on its own legs. The great cogs turn as the legs are lowered. The whole maneuver controlled from a central panel. The legs take the weight. Down go the divers to check they're securely bedded in. The rig is finally established. From the shore base, the oil men fly in. Drillers, tool pushers, roughnecks, roustabouts as they're called. Soon preparations for spudding in the wells are underway. The first bite is taken by an oversized bit, which drills through the soft top layers of sand and clay. It is followed by a large diameter conductor pipe, a continuous tube down from platform to the zone below the seabed. From now on, some 60 men and 5,000 tons of machinery will be devoted to one purpose: driving a steel bit the size of a pair of clenched fists 2 miles, 3 miles under the North Sea. Bit onto drill collar, onto drill pipe, the string. Drilling starts. For every 30 feet the drill penetrates, another length of pipe. Thousands of yards of it in the end. The driller, highly skilled, keeping the right amount of weight bearing down on the bit. Like a dentist drilling a tooth with his patient at the other end of a football field. Mud, they call it, a special mixture of clay, water and chemicals. Pumped down under pressure, it keeps the drill hole clear of gases or fluids. It lubricates the bit. It carries the rock chippings up to the rig for examination. Cleared of the chippings, it's recycled back into the drill hole for use again. The chippings are separated out on vibrating screens. Samples go to the rig's laboratory. They can reveal the age and nature of the rock formations being drilled. So too can electronic detectors lowered down the drill hole. Information is passed to the shore base in code. Contact with the lonely rig is by supply ship and helicopter. For everyone, it's 2 weeks on the rig, then 1 week ashore. A journey by helicopter, usually. If the fog is too thick, then it's some uncomfortable hours by sea. On the rig, a new crew take over. There's no let-up. Night and day, a perpetual, arduous grind. Each man, 12 hours on, 12 hours off. 7 days a week. Meals provide a break. Polyglot fare. There's just the meals and the simplest forms of relaxation, and the bare companionship of men in isolation sharing out a tough job. A hard, skilled, tiring job. The search for gas or oil at sea has stirred up new activity on land, more and more each succeeding year. Miles of casing pipe destined for the seabed. Specially designed supply ships to service the rigs. The rigs must face all weathers. Some early ones were damaged. So, develop new technology and build them specially, at huge expense, up to £10 million a time. But the cost of the search for energy under the North Sea was bound to be formidable. And so a strange kind of creature began to be seen in shipyards in Britain and elsewhere. Semi-submersible platforms and platforms on legs. We're back on that first rig. Almost 2 months have gone by since drilling started, and the bit is nearing target depth of 7,000 feet. Samples of chippings are taken more often now. The geologists sit tense at their microscopes. The recording pen of the chromatograph is set to react to the slightest trace of hydrocarbons in the mud. If there's gas down there, they'll soon know. Slowly now, very carefully, the drill is eased downwards. And then, not exactly when they least expect it, gas. Then the telephone wires start humming. Decisions to be made. Is it just an isolated showing of gas? How big is the field? Should they stop drilling and test the formation? The answer? Drill on, but with the core bit now. Take core samples, specimens of rock brought up from the drill hole. Out to the rig comes more testing equipment. Logging experts prepare. Casing pipe is made ready. Geologists, petroleum engineers come and go. At the end of 5 days, the 20th core indicates final depth has been reached. Stop drilling. Run the final logs. The gamma ray log. The velocity check shot. And get the information ashore, quick. The logs promise good news. Hydrocarbons are well in evidence. The reservoir rock is porous. The gas should flow. Now a 7-inch casing is run right down through the reservoir and cemented. To bring the gas into the drill hole, perforations are shot in the casing by remote control. The packer, a tough rubber seal, is sent down. A string of small bore production tubing follows. Flow lines are connected. For a short time, the gas, if it's there, will be flared off while the flow rate is tested. So far, the weight of the mud in the drill hole has held in check the pressures in the gas-bearing formation. Now the mud is replaced by less heavy fluids. The pressures begin to be released. On deck, they wait. Suddenly, air and rubble shoot out through the clearing pipe. Deep under the seabed, gas surges into the drill hole. All eyes are on the pilot light. And then that great unanswered question about the North Sea is swept away. Strike! So there it was, the beginning of it all. 60 miles off the coast of Norfolk, natural gas had been found. But still the unknown of how much. Appraisal wells to be drilled to find out. The same work all over again for another 8 months. Millions of pounds to establish the size of the now famous Lehman Bank gas field. And then the huge problem of developing it. 53 development wells, each taking 8 weeks to drill. 2 more years' work, night and day, to start production. 10 to bring the field into full capacity. And to get the gas ashore, from these platforms to a processing plant on the English coast. A vast pipelaying operation in 150 feet of water. Technically exacting, with reliability and safety the prime factors. A new technology, essential to the whole North Sea operation. The pipe makes landfall at the Bacton plant. Here the gas is purified and then passed from oil company control into the national grid. And you get it in your home to cook with and to heat the water in the house. And industry uses it in 100 different processes. Still, the story of the North Sea was only just beginning. All the time, while Lehman was being developed, the search had gone on. Between November 1965 and March 1972, the British government had allocated a series of new license areas for exploration to Esso Shell, as you see on this map, and other blocks to other participating companies. Meanwhile, Esso Shell had drilled 28 more exploratory wells in areas carefully, minutely chosen from their latest exploration data. More gas fields have been discovered and brought into production. After West Seoul by BP and our own Lehman field, other now familiar names: Indefatigable, Hewitt, Rough, Viking, and in the Norwegian sector, Cod and Frigg. Now the search had moved north into deeper, angrier waters. Esso on its own was granted these 6 black blocks and was to be, in 1972, the first company to risk drilling in a totally new area, west of the Shetlands. But already, long before this, new supply bases had to be established. First, Aberdeen, traditionally Scotland's first fishing centre. Trawlermen, not oilmen. But now oilmen too. 1,500 new jobs already, 1,000 of them filled locally. Perhaps 5,000 in the end. Aberdeen welcomes the newcomers, but they mean pressure on land and housing and schools. Slowly, does it? People take time to adapt. Then this new prosperity can come to Scotland without too much unwanted change or disturbing a balance. So too in the Shetland Islands, where a unique community of sailors, fishermen and farmers flourishes in one of the most beautiful areas in Britain. The arrival of the industrial world of oil must not destroy the character of these islands. The oil companies are already cooperating with the people to ensure that this does not happen. They are drilling now 115 miles northeast of the Shetlands. A supply boat from Aberdeen sets out for the rig. They know what they're in for. It's bad, and it's worse ahead. But the rigs have to be supplied, come what may. These ships have a story to tell all of their own, and are thankful when the fury stops and they can get some rest. The huge stay-flow rig is anchored in 470 feet of water, carrying 10,000 tons of drilling equipment, 50 men. It has cost nearly £4 million to build and equip. After 4 years in the North Sea, it's drilled 13 wells. They started drilling again here on May the 14th, 1972. It's now the middle of July. They are nearing pay depth. The last bit to be changed. It's blunted by the tertiary rock. The whole lot has to come out. Miles of piping first. A new bit is fitted, and down it all goes again. A trip, they call it. A day's back-breaking work when the drill hole gets no deeper. The night of August the 16th. The cores have indicated oil at about 9,000 feet. Everything is ready. The burners set, temporarily to burn the oil to avoid the risk of sea pollution until the well is shut off. There they are. The pressure's mounting. It's oil. Oil from the depths of Britain's North Sea. But this, too, is only a beginning. Exploration in British offshore waters will go on for many years yet. Meanwhile, the immense task remains of developing existing finds and getting the oil ashore. Difficult enough in shallow southern waters, doubly difficult here. In 10 years of costly effort, of scientific skill and dogged courage, we have won the struggle to find a new source of energy. The rest is yet to win.